Hey everybody, it is your travel agent David, and today I have the best 10-day Alaska itinerary for you. We're going to go from arriving into Anchorage and departing out of Fairbanks and everything in between. Now you might be saying, well, it's the winter time. Why would I be thinking about Alaska? And that's a fantastic question, because if you're thinking about Alaska in April, May, June, July, you're going to be having issues getting hotels, car rentals, things like that. So we're going to put together the itinerary so you can go and start picking what you want to do when you go to Alaska for 10 days and start making those reservations, because all the tours are going to get full from all the cruise people, from all the regular people coming in. But this is the start for you. So day one, you're going to arrive in Anchorage. Everybody's going to arrive at a different time. So day one is a free day. Grab a hotel. I recommend the Captain Cook. It's pretty close to centrally located downtown. So from there, you can walk very easily to all the downtown shops, bars, restaurants, souvenir shops, things like that. Day two, you're going to stay in Anchorage. You can go visit the zoo. You can go to the Matsunaska Glacier hike. You can do a helicopter tour. You can do a city tour. You can go watch float planes take off from Lake Hood. There's just a lot of stuff to do. You can do ATV trails, go out whale watching. You can go out fishing. There's just so many things that you can do. I really recommend you go check out the zoo. It's really nice. And then go to the glacier and take a hike there. If you want to go on a helicopter tour and kind of see the area, that would be pretty cool as well. Day three, we're going to leave Anchorage and we're going to head to Whittier. It's about an hour drive. On the way, you're going to pass a point on your right called Beluga Point. You can go out there and you can watch the beluga whales as they surface while they're going in and out of the channel. It's a really popular place. Then as you head over to Whittier, you're going to go to, on the right-hand side, you'll find a place called Portage Glacier. So you can get out. They got a little visitor center there. You can go check out the glacier as well. And then you're going to get in line to go down the tunnel to Whittier. Now, it's a single-lane tunnel, so they only allow cars to go one way for a certain period of time, come back out for a certain period of time, and then a train goes to Whittier. So the Alaska Railroad will go in, and they'll have their set time to go in and their set time to come out. So you may have to do some waiting depending on your arrival time, but when you get to Whittier, you're going to take the 26 Glacier cruise. Now, I've done this cruise 3 times now. I've never been disappointed with it. My most recent time was about 2 years ago. I did it with my daughter, and she had an absolute blast as well. So beautiful. Once you're done in Whittier, for the cruise, they have some restaurants there. They have some shops there. Whittier's a pretty small town, but they do have a cruise port there as well. So depending on the cruise cycle, when they're coming in and out, you may have a lot of people to contend with. When you're done in Whittier, you're going to go start heading back to Anchorage, and you're going to stop in Girdwood. When you get to Girdwood, you're going to stay at the Alyeska Hotel, or Hotel Alyeska. It's a really cool hotel. They have a ski lift with a restaurant on the top of it. The vibe of the hotel in the summertime when I went there, it really reminded me kind of the hotel in The Shining. I don't know why. It's not haunted or anything like that, but that's just kind of the vibe I got. But I really recommend that you stay there, enjoy the hotel, enjoy the scenery in Girdwood, and go take the ski lift up to the restaurant that's up there. On day 4, plan a 6-hour drive from Girdwood to Valdez. I'd really say plan 7 or 8 hours, because as you go, there's going to be pull-offs. You're going to want to take pictures and video and just enjoy how beautiful Alaska is. But when you get into Valdez, Valdez is a really small town, so you can go find a hotel. I recommend that you stay at the Best Western Valdez Harbor Inn. When you stay there, you're close to town. You can go walk around and enjoy yourselves. Now, on your first full day in Valdez, which is day 5. I recommend that you go to Bridal Veil Falls. You can go halibut fishing. You can go see the termination of the Alaska pipeline, as it starts up in Prudhoe Bay area up north, and it comes all the way down and terminates into Valdez. You can also go and do a boat charter, an ATV ride, a lot of places to go hiking in there. Valdez is a really small town, so there's not a lot of activities to do there, but it is very scenic and beautiful. And I don't know if they still have it, I'm sure that they do, but they have gift shops that will sell oil from the Exxon Valdez spill back in the 80s, and you can buy it, and all that money goes back into the money that was spent into doing the cleanup from the Exxon Valdez. Now, day 6, this is where it's going to start to get a little flexible for you. I'm planning this on a 10-day tour. If you're doing a 7-day tour, this is one of the things that you can kind of cut out. So you're going to drive to Delta Junction. It's going to be about a 5.5-hour drive, because you got to drive through Delta Junction to get to Fairbanks. Now, when you get to Delta Junction, you can stay at the Alaska Country Inn. You can go visit Quartz Lake. You can go and do, if you want to do this, you can kind of go the roundabout way to a city called Tok, T-O-K. When you get to Tok, so if you're going from Valdez, you can go this way to Delta Junction, or you can go this way to Tok. If you go to Tok, you're about an hour and 45-minute drive to the border of Alaska and Canada's Yukon Territory. So if you wanted to say that you've been to the Yukon Territory, you can go that way, go to the border, and then hop back over and stay at Delta Junction. If you do that, you're not going to be able to go to the Quartz Lake, but it's really up to you what you want to do. Now, if you do plan on going to the border, make sure you bring your passports, because you do need passports to get into Canada and back into America from Canada. But if you're on a shorter time frame, you can cut that out and drive right from Valdez to Fairbanks. So day 7, we're going to drive from Delta Junction to Chena Hot Springs. So Chena Hot Springs is about a 45-minute drive north of Fairbanks. You actually have to go through Fairbanks to get to it, but you're going to stay at the Chena Hot Springs Resort. Now, when you're at the Chena Hot Springs Resort, they have this little compound, and they have a building full of, it's like an ice museum. They have sculptures. They even have ice beds that you can rent, and you can spend the night in there. They have a bar. They give you special glasses, like little martini glasses, that you can opt for an alcoholic beverage at the bar when you're doing the tour of the little ice museum that they have there. And when you come out, everybody smashes the glass for good luck. It's really cool, literally and figuratively. They also have a tour of their geothermal system, because that whole resort is powered off of geothermal, which is really cool. And then they have some tours and stuff like that from Chena Hot Springs Resort that you can do as well. And, well, they have springs. So they have an adult only area, and then a family area with a pool. They have the changing rooms and everything, showers there. You can just go soak into the natural hot springs and let your body just relax and soak. I picked day 7 for that, because you've been doing a lot of traveling, right? You flew to Alaska, you've been driving all around Alaska. Let your body have a little break, enjoying Chena Hot Springs for the night. Now, on day 8, we're going to drive to Fairbanks. When you get to Fairbanks, you're going to want to stay at Pike's Waterfront Lodge. So it's near the airport. It's near downtown. It's probably about 2.5-3 mile drive from downtown, but it's right on the river. And depending on what day you stay there, they could be doing different activities with jet skis and stuff like that out there. There's just a lot of different things that go on right there in that general area. Things that you want to go check out. I really recommend, on your way in from Chena Hot Springs, you go to Gold Dredge number 8. You're going to take a little train ride. When I was there 2 years ago, same guy had been there for like 15 years. He used to play with, he used to be the fiddler for, I'm having a brain fart, the guy in black, Johnny Cash. Yeah, he used to be on Johnny Cash's band, sorry. But he goes over there and plays the fiddle and stuff like that, where you take a train ride through the dredge. When you end, you go out and you walk through their gift shops and stuff like that, but you get to go gold panning. They teach you how to gold pan and things like that. It's really a good time. So when you get done at the gold dredge, then when you're coming back into town, if you're coming into town from the dredge, on your left-hand side will be an area, an observation point for you to go to the Alaska pipeline. You can walk right up to it. It's huge. They have a cog out there that you can see what the cog is. And the cog is, they send them down like every, I don't know how often, but they send them down and they clean the pipeline. They start up north and they end in Valdez. They get shipped back up north and then they come back down. It just keeps the pipeline clean from sludge building up. But they're called cogs. So you can go and do that. Then you can go head into North Pole, which is about 15 miles southeast of Fairbanks. And you go past, go out of town and stuff like that. You come into North Pole, it'd be on your right-hand side. North Pole, Alaska. I used to live in North Pole, Alaska. The street lights are all shaped like candy canes. North Pole's pretty much decorated like Christmas all year round. You can go into the Wendy's, and they got Christmas decorations and Christmas tree up all year round. But you can go to Santa's house. They have reindeer. They have the world's tallest Santa outside. They got the gift shop. Mr. and Mrs. Claus are always there. So it's just a great little time. You can just spend about 30 minutes or so out there. If you did not, when you were coming from Delta Junction, if you did not stop in Salcha at the Naughty Shop, then I recommend from the North Pole, you drive about another 20 minutes to the Naughty Shop. The Naughty Shop is not a naughty shop, it's a naughty shop. So they have a bunch of handmade Alaskan souvenirs from knotty wood. Okay? You'll know the Naughty Shop because when you're passing by, they got like a mosquito made out of knotty wood and a few other things like big out in the front. Get an ice cream there. You can go around. They got a lot. It's like a huge souvenir shop. It's really cool. They have a lot of animals that have been taxidermied up there for and set up in scenes and stuff like that. So it's a really nice time. I really recommend you go from Delta Junction. You go there on your way to Chena Hot Springs. But if you missed that, make sure you hit it while you're at the North Pole. And then on your way back into Fairbanks, stop off at Pioneer Park. Now, Pioneer Park is like a historical area. When you come into Pioneer Park, they'll have a big riverboat out there. I want to say it was called the Nenana. You go out there. Right behind that is a train station. There's a train that goes all the way around the park. Off to your left from there is mini golfing. In the back left, there is an aviation museum with a lot of cool airplanes inside of it. It's like a little dome building. Out to the right, when you first walk in, there is a train that President McKinley used when he came to Alaska, when Alaska became a state. They have a lot of old houses that were moved from downtown into Pioneer Park to preserve some of that history. They even have a couple museums in there, and they have a 40 below shop you can go into. So you put on your coats and everything like that. The room is kept at 40 below zero. I think it's 40 below. It may be 20 below, but it's cold. You can go in there. They got a lot of good little places to get snacks and fudge and things like that from, some light meals. But there's just a lot of stuff there. And I would go there towards the end of the day. And at the end of the day, go to the salmon bake. The salmon bake is a big dinner. They have salmon and then they have prime rib, so you can pick which one you want. But it's a big to do. Like the Alaska salmon bake is the thing to do in Fairbanks. So I really recommend that you go and do that. That's day 8. There's a lot of stuff going on there. If you're going to stay there for some extra time or you cut out Delta Junction, you can spread it out a little bit. But it is doable. If you leave Chena Hot Springs Resort probably about 7 in the morning, you probably get done with everything about 5 in the afternoon, just in time for the salmon bake. Now, on day 9, I would recommend that you do one of two things. I really recommend that you take the Alaska Railroad train from Fairbanks, round trip to Denali. It will take you all day, but you're going to see so much beautiful scenery going down and coming back. You're going to go to Denali National Park. You're not going to go up to the mountain or anything like that. You'll see it. They have a visitor center and stuff like that, a little restaurant that you can eat at. They drop you off. I want to say you're there for about 2 hours, and then you come back, and you come back into town, and then you can just hang out the rest of the time in town, pack or whatever, because day 10 if you're leaving. If you don't want to do the train ride, my alternate recommendation for you would be to take a tour to the Arctic Circle. Now, be aware that when you get your rental car, there's going to be verbiage on there that you cannot take it off paved roads. Once you get about, I don't know, 50, 60 miles past Fairbanks, it becomes a gravel road. So you're going to have to take a tour or run the risk of blowing a tire or tires, running out of gas, going to the Arctic Circle. When you go to the Arctic Circle, it's cool because you can say, hey, I've been to the Arctic Circle. I've been to the Arctic Circle. You can Google it. There's a big sign that says the Arctic Circle, got a globe on it with where the Arctic Circle's at. It's going to take you about 4 hours to get there. And then you got to come back to take a picture in front of that sign. And when we went, the Alaska state bird was very prevalent. Now, if you don't know what the Alaska state bird is, it is the mosquito. Why is it the Alaska state bird? Because they're like this big. Okay, we got out, we started getting attacked, ran over, took a quick selfie in front of the sign, and ran back to our car, covered in welts from mosquito bites. And then, unhappily and regrettably, we drove back into Fairbanks. But if you take a tour, you don't have to do any of the driving. You can just enjoy the scenery and the sights and just go out there. Now, if you do venture off into places like that on your own, be careful not to go off-road. I'm going to close this segment with this story. There's a thing called muskeg. Okay? It's kind of like the Arctic tundra. It's frozen but not frozen, and it's called muskeg. Well, there's a couple guys from Elmendorf Air Force Base that went out hunting out near the Arctic Circle, and they got a caribou, and that caribou was too heavy for them to bring back, so they thought, hey, I'm going to drive into the muskeg, we'll load it up in the truck and come on out. Well, their truck got stuck about 4 or 5 feet from the road. I don't remember the exact distance, it was like not far. And because the muskeg area is protected, they could not tow it out because they didn't want to damage the muskeg. So they had to bring a helicopter, hook a helicopter up to the vehicle, and then bring it back to the road. At which point the troopers seized it and all of their stuff for hunting and breaking the rules. So I would just say, if you're going to drive up through the Arctic Circle, make sure you stay on the road and don't go off of it, because you may end up in a muskeg and it may cause further issues, especially with your rental car company if they told you not to go off-roading and then you got to explain to them why a helicopter is going to come pick your car up. So I am going to go to Alaska in March. I'm going to try and drive to Alaska this summer and do a complete from Texas to Alaska road tour and give you video and all the hotels, restaurants, things like that all the way down. So I've lived in Alaska for 7 years. All of it was in Fairbanks, but I've been pretty much all around Alaska. We just did a 7-day Alaskan cruise, so you can check that out. Skagway, Sitka, Juneau, and then we stopped off into Victoria, British Columbia. So if you have any questions about Alaska, hit me up and let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video so you can see everything that I'm going to be producing and have produced from Alaska as well. So we're going to go to the International Ice Art Carving Competition in Fairbanks this March. So it's really cool. We love going there because they bring out these huge, insane, you'll have to watch, insane blocks of ice. And these people from all around the globe will come out and they carve it into these magnificent ice sculptures. So you're not going to want to miss that if you love Alaska and you like ice art. It's going to be phenomenal. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate it. Until next time, I'll see you next trip.